We are live in Bloomberg World Headquarters in New York over the next hour, plus we're covering stories out of Washington, Los Angeles, and Moscow. Here's what we're watching. Another day, another record for U.S. stocks. We sound like a broken record. All three major indexes hitting all-time highs. The Dow edging closer to that 20,000 mark. And it is official. Trump is nominating ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson for Secretary of State. And senators from both sides of the aisle are raising concerns, including Senator Ben Cardin. He's the ranking Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. We will speak to him in moments about his concerns. And President-elect Donald Trump's pledge to boost infrastructure spending has given a boost to firms like AECOM. Shares of the engineering service company have soared 40% since the election. The chairman and CEO Mike Burke joins us on set this hour. All right, U.S. markets close in 2 hours' time. I gave away the breaking news there with stocks at record highs right now. Julie, tell us a little bit more. Break it down.
So, indeed, we have them at record highs. Indeed.
Thank you, Joseph. First of all, I want to get your read on Rex Tillerson, the selection of Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State. What challenges would he need to overcome to do the job effectively as America's top diplomat?
Diplomatic corps, in your view, could be an effective Secretary of State? It's contingent on some kind of new trade negotiation or something like that. How is China likely to respond to this? I think from a geopolitical perspective, people are worried about that. People have talked about the pressure domestic.
Xi Jinping's old friend, Terry Branstad, as ambassador to China. Joseph, how high a...
Equities, a lot of overexposure to bonds. So in every way imaginable, it seems like people were not positioned for this. How much has position changed to sort of get more on the right side of things, or is there a lot of catch-up still?
Yes.
Chris?
What we're hearing from companies is a lot of companies are saying the election's behind us. So I'm not sure it's just about who got elected.
Right.
It's behind.
Spur further gains, but how is this next leg of the rally going to look like? It's not going to be a straight shot up like we've already seen. And there's going to be a long lag time between when the policies are actually announced and they start to take effect and when we see that priced in.
That's right. So the next thing...
Fed less going into this decision because everyone's still so consumed about Trump, reading the administration's tea leaves.
Bought for a long time.
Exactly right. The market could stay overbought longer than you could stay solvent, I think is a variation of some phrase.
Okay, well, in the meantime, we're also looking at how Gary Cohn is getting ready to leave the private sector and could hit a major payday as he gets ready to serve as Donald Trump's main economic advisor. So you're looking at the value of Gary Cohn's stake in Goldman Sachs, his shares. And since Election Day, his stake has increased by $46 million. This is in paper gains, of course, because as far as we know, he hasn't sold those shares yet. The stock, as you know, has jumped as much as 33% if he reinvests the proceeds in treasuries or a government-approved fund. And on top of that, Joe, Bloomberg has been reporting that Goldman Sachs has an exit plan for executives who leave for government service because there are so many of them. For Cohn, it would be worth about $59 million, mostly in stock awards that he would have received or that he'd receive early, and also tied to hitting future financial targets and some health premiums that get paid out as well. The board would need to approve of that payout, though.
So pretty good.
Pretty good payday. All right, let's get you to the market close. That is
Cabinet today, Rick Perry to lead the Department of Energy. Everyone is going to make a joke about that because that Romney got the nomination for state. Right. You're off the hook. The question is, was this entire thing an attempt to humiliate Romney and string him along so that he could stiff-arm him at the end, or was this he really in contention up until the final moment?
All right, well, in terms of what you missed, it's been a full almost 12 months since the Fed began liftoff. And since then, there's been lots of talk, but no real action. Janet Yellen and the data-dependent U.S. central bank are now poised to increase interest rates once again. So let's look at the charts that make a hike a near certainty in today's The Numbers Don't Lie. The market is now pricing in 100% odds that policymakers will raise rates on Wednesday. What you're looking at here is the Fed funds futures from the WIRP function on the Bloomberg. The orange line indicates this. Finally, we're going to find out how the positive turn in economic data will affect the Fed's famous dot plot. This chart shows projections as of the last live meeting in September. The pink line, the red line. Now, beyond the actual rate decision and path of future increases, we'll also be, of course, tracking the Fed's economic forecasts and parse the language tied to its characterization of the economy. Be sure to follow Bloomberg starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow for our full coverage of the Fed. Joe? Wells Fargo failing for the second time this year with its living will. The bank was not able to persuade U.S. regulators that it could unwind its business in the event of a failure without wreaking havoc on the broader financial system. Joining us with more is Bloomberg's Jesse Westbrook in Washington. So it looks like Wells Fargo will have to go back to the drawing board, Jesse. This is a negative headline, but does it really make all that much of a difference for the bank itself?
Maybe less aggressive. If you're Wells Fargo, why not just sort of run out the clock and see if we can, get past this without having to do anything? The big event.
That does it for What You Missed. Thanks for watching.
Have a great evening. This is Bloomberg.